So you were recently back from the GFF last week. Tell us a bit about how this event was and what happened over the last 3 days there.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the event was fabulous. Uh, there was one of our vendors who gave us a ticket, and it was my first offline event. Uh, Interestingly, we assumed 10,000 people will show up, but when I went over there, there were like 80,000 total footfall over the last over 3 days, right? And it was immense. And everyone was there, clients, partners, potential clients, and
Great.
it was amazing.
Great. So I guess the focus was more on fintech and the innovations. So how was your experience there? What really stood out to you the most? If
Yeah, I
you
think so. Obviously, the focus was entirely fintech.
will.
There was pretty much everyone whoever of the fintech world in the event. I
Yeah.
think one of the things that stuck out was the government's participation in the fintech ecosystem, right? Pretty much government in India, the government is the one that is innovating the most. NPCI, Reserve Bank of India,
Yeah.
Narendra Modi was there as well. So it was super high energy and boost for the entire ecosystem in general because of the last 3 years. I think
Mhm.
events like these, like it paved the path for the entire nation to build this
True.
ecosystem, right? Which was
True. Yeah.
amazing, honestly.
True, yeah, I saw there were a lot more events happening over the last couple of years in this field, and I think that's really great. You obviously got a chance to interact with some of the people there, and what was your experience? Like, how many people did you speak to? Uh, how did that go?
So interestingly, what we did was we got the entire email identity data. We ran one
Great.
campaign on our 50 email accounts, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we got like 30% reply rate across 4,000 people, right? That were relevant to us
That's
at a
great.
80-90%
Yeah.
interested. So like I couldn't meet everyone. So I would have met like what 50 to 60 people
Mm-hmm.
across partners, vendors, clients and potential clients. Uh,
Great.
Few of my friends were there as well that like I have not interacted since college. So that was great, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, in general.
Great. So, I guess since you're saying you met a lot of people, and did you get a chance to look at some maybe innovations or maybe some particular trends that you saw noticed there? Because it's obviously fintech, and we see fintech's growing quite massively. So, what was your
Yeah.
experience there?
Yeah, I think for someone
Mm.
like us, right, who
Yeah.
help companies generate leads in general,
Yeah.
right? So in our nature of business, uh, I think two things stuck out really well. In
Hmm.
India, there's only two things, right? Lending and
Yeah.
payments. Lendings and payments in general, and
Yeah.
there were so many innovative packages on lending that was being bought for the underserved market in India. And I think the government is also like pushing it a lot. But one of the
Hmm.
key things that stuck out was payments, right?
Okay.
Like the NPCI is innovating so much to enable
Hmm.
people to pay, right?
Yeah.
They demoed touchless ways to pay to people with all fraud detection, fraud policies in place, right? And
Yeah.
like there's a watch that was demoed that you can just tap and pay, right? Like you don't have to even open your phone.
Okay.
Then you like there was a model which and there was a lot of AI startups interestingly that are building on top of payments to ensure the number of failure rate is
Hmm.
less, right? So there were like a lot of interesting things, but yeah, across these two verticals only, payments and
Um,
lending
because I'm
in
circling
general.
back to what you said earlier, with the lead gen and stuff. How do you think these trends align with what Sales Up does? And
Yeah, so I think one of
yeah.
the key things that stuck out to me was there were close to 600 partners that has put up booth.
Okay.
But the event in general for the partners
Yeah.
was a bit unstructured for the people who were, let's say, not in the top 20% partner list, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I think what Sales Up can potentially help
Mm-hmm.
or at least we discussed and we are already talking to a few of them are around
Yeah.
our how to optimize these events expenditure well by planning it out like 1 2 weeks 1 month in advance in terms of
Yeah.
booking slots in advance with your partners, ideally potential clients, right? So
Mm.
that's where I think we as an organization has innovated. We demoed or tried to run a campaign and did it with one of our customers, Fino,
Yeah.
as well internally, right?
Yeah.
And which helped them like get 10 demos on the event day as well. So I think
Okay.
that is one thing we can help out these businesses on. And in general,
Great.
I think top of the funnel is one of the major reasons why
Yeah.
like at least 80% of the companies come on these events, right?
Great.
So sales of services, I think, would align really well
Great. So
for these
I
businesses.
Great. So I want to circle back to two things that really caught my eye, and I think these are really interesting. First is just a while ago you said that Sales Up really we did the campaign with Sales Up with the attendee list internally for you getting to meet them. I would really love a bit more explanation, a bit more elaboration on that because that seems really interesting. And then
Yeah. So I think
yeah,
we have the entire dev team internally. We got the entire event attendee data from the mobile app, right? And we had the campaigns, etc., set in place for us.
okay,
So we got it up and running in less than 2 hours with prioritization done on the entire data set of 10,000 people, right?
yeah,
And with copy, etc. And
mm,
the interesting part was we gave the same data that we scraped for free, right? And interestingly, no one was thinking out of all the six, like 400, 500 partners that set up booths to
yeah,
get that data because that is easy to access, but like
great,
it's time consuming. So that's what we did in the campaign, and we replicated that for one of our clients as well, right? Who
okay.
was coming up on that event.
So
So yeah, that's what we did.
So you'll say that, so we can say that maybe we can do the thinking part for the clients as well. Maybe we can come up
Yeah,
with ideas that they really don't think that they need, but we could really help them.
yeah, definitely. I think
Yeah.
top of the funnel is like anyone who
Mm-hmm.
is at least not the market leader as such and is
Yeah.
innovating underserved market with not that many great solutions or like in a competitive market but not in the top one place or
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have a lot of inbound leads coming in, right? That's when they
Yeah.
end up spending on events, end up spending on other channels. And top of the funnel outbound can
Mm-hmm.
be cold or warm, and these events
Yeah.
are one of the ways I think that warm outreach can happen in advance and just to increase ROI for the event by just having the event more structured.
Great. That makes sense. Great. So yeah, that makes sense. And let's come back to the second thing that I wanted to. You said we did something for one of our clients and got them leads there. So can you just elaborate on the process that we did and how do you think that going forward? How do you think we can do that for even more people who might be interested after this?
Yeah, so I think I'll answer the first part. So
Yeah,
this client of ours was showing up on the event for 2 days, and they were
yeah,
hosting a dinner,
mm,
and they wanted to invite CTOs, right, of big banks
yeah.
to that dinner, right? So what
Okay.
we did was we used the same data, got let's say out of 10,000 people, 400
Hmm.
people who are relevant to their you like who can potentially be their clients, right? And we
Great.
reached out to all of them on cold emails in the
Okay.
same day. So we got the data at 10
Mhm.
o'clock, at 12 o'clock,
Yeah.
the content was approved. 1 o'clock campaign set, 1 to 5
Mm.
the campaign ran, and we got the results booked right on 1 day before the event. So this was decided on Monday, uh,
Yeah.
executed on Tuesday, and the impact was done for the client on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in terms of event, right? And how, so that's on the first part. When it comes
Yeah.
to the second part of how companies can eventually use
Mhm.
that to their advantages, we just don't do cold outbound. We help companies reach out to potential people that they want to reach out to, right?
Okay.
Through channels that might be there, might not be there, right? So
Yeah.
I personally think these companies or all these companies who are potentially investing in events, they
Yeah.
can put a part of the investment, 1%, 2% on it. Not us, but like anywhere they
Anyone.
can. Yeah, one of the channels to pre-plan. 2 to 4 weeks in advance, right?
Yeah.
So the ROI on those 2 3 days that you have to justify
Hmm.
is better because you would already have your slots booked with people.
With
Uh,
such a quick turnaround time that we did this for the client, how do you what are the challenges that do you think we mitigated for them with
yeah, so the
specific to this campaign?
for first, I think
Yeah.
ease of execution, right?
Yes.
We had the right engineer who can scrape the data. We had the right person who can write the content. Right person to set up the campaign, manage the leads coming in, filter the good ones out of the bad ones, right?
Hmm.
So ease of execution is obviously one. Second is
Yes.
uh, speed, right?
Hmm.
So this type of events thrive on speed. If the
Yes.
ease of execution is there for the startup to work with us, the speed
Yeah.
has to be accurate. We can't wait for 1 month to plan this, right? So the
Exactly.
speed is the second part, and there's nothing else, right? I think the and quality, etc., is a
Hmm.
table stake in this business.
Yes.
So I think ease of execution and speed generally.
Great. That's really great to hear. So let's say with the fintech companies that applied, what advice would you give them for to ramp up their sales and to scale their sales efforts to these companies more akin
Yeah, I
to?
think I only have experience in B2B, so not
Mhm.
like a lot of these fintech companies are B2C when it comes to lending and payments.
Yes,
So
true.
it might not be at the right place to advise them anywhere, but
Hmm.
I think on
With
B2B
the sales
vertical is just
efforts, with
yeah,
the
yeah,
area that we are specializing in.
yeah, I
But,
think having a clear ICP and planning ahead is pretty much it in terms of your efforts to
okay.
uh, on those days to
Hmm.
have enough demos booked in advance. It should not be at random, like random
Yeah.
college students are coming up and talking to you, right? Who bought a
Makes
ticket and
sense.
this might not be either a client, vendor, or
Hmm.
someone, right? That
Yeah.
can only happen if the planning is done, slots are booked, uh, right? So I just have that advice that I think by even doing that, and other than that, obviously the marketing team has in all these startups does a very good job at engaging with the audience that comes to the booth and making it visually appealing, etc.
Yeah. So what you're saying is we can't they when these companies can't just wait for the things to fall in place. They have to
Yeah,
actively.
on the yeah,
Yeah.
it can't be. Yeah, that's what I thought
Uh,
is generally the case. Like the booth is there, and without any predictability of who would
yeah.
come up, who would not come up. Like there's some predictability, but it can just come with a 10x like better by just planning ahead.
Planning ahead. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a great advice to hear this. What's next for Sales Up following this GFF event? Are we looking to attend more events? Are we looking to?
I guess, yeah, because
Yeah.
we got like 300, 400 people that were interested,
Yeah.
and generally, I think we will be going to more of these events and seeing value. And
Hmm.
our product is out as well, so we are pushing that heavily. Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that's pretty much it.
What is the best way for these pickup people to get in touch with
I
Sales Up?
just land on our website and book a call. Right?
Land on our website and also everyone's just watching. Come on, you come to our website. Yep. So yeah, any final thoughts? Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, I think India's scale
Yeah.
is massive, right? And that's one thing I realized. So
Yeah.
we are super focused in building for Indian businesses to have a force multiplier, either in terms of outcome
Yeah.
or in terms of cost, right? In terms of top of the funnel B2B side, right?
B2B.
So I think that way we are very focused, and it just was a very good validation for someone like us as well to build India first because the
Hmm.
scale was. I think JFF event can come up
Yeah.
with their own IPO soon in
Wow.
a couple of years. That's the
Great.
scale of their top line,
Yeah.
right? So I think there's enough opportunity and super excited for the next 10 years.
Yeah, there's great opportunity for the sales teams, for the fintech teams there as well, for the fintech people who are actually coming up with these ideas. And I think there's great opportunity for us as well. We can come up, we have some really great ideas for them. And yeah, so yeah, that makes sense. That I guess Great. That
Cool.
wraps up. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. Yeah. It was great
Thank you.
speaking
Thanks
to
so
you.
much,
Yeah.
Pradhan, for your time.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's speak again soon.